Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy BZCast. Today we're back for another video. Today we'll be making my March Madness predictions. Let's get right into it. With the East region, gonna go region by region in the round of 64. Duke is gonna win. Sorry to Siena. Congrats for them to make it. Now, this is a hard one. This is a very hard one. If we take a look, some of these wins, Michigan State, they lost to. Wisconsin they beat. Purdue they beat. They give a 37 to 63% chance. 4.3 mil, 6.1 mil. Since 2018, number 9 seeds are 18 and 10 versus the 8 seeds. Overall, 9 seeds have won 51% of the meetings. 78-72, 79-72. 2 and 8 versus top 25 though. Now, TCU is a team that is very, very small. This is one of the smallest teams in the entire country. I believe they were 325th in the country in size. This isn't a strength for Ohio State. Now, Tilly, I believe he's 6'10", maybe 6'9". He's their tallest player. They don't really have a tall team. I don't think this is a game where TCU is going to have a lot of problems. I think TCU, it's kind of a hard game to pick first, but I like TCU in this first one, although Ohio State does have the best player in this game with Bruce Thornton. Now, St. John's in Northern Iowa, no doubt about it for me. St. John's, they're hot. They just won the Big East. Northern Iowa is an underrated team. I mean, the spread is 10.5. It did open at 8-5, which is kind of crazy too, but I don't see it. Now, Kansas and Cal Baptist. As much as I'd like to pick against Kansas, it's not going to happen. At least number 13 seed one time and for 28 to 40. That's not a bad stat. I'll keep that in mind for later. But it's not going to work here. Louisville, South Florida. Now, this spread opened at 7-5. It is at 4-5. Now, Mikael Brown will likely miss this game. Very, very likely. They play at 1:30. I believe that is the third game we've got on our schedule. They got some good wins, though. They do. But, USF is one of the best offenses in the country. They just won the AAC. Number 6 seeds have won 61% of the meetings. Last time number 6 seeds won all of the meetings was 2004. That's telling you 111 seed at least is going to win. USF, like I said, one of the best teams in the country offensively. I like this upset. Louisville, I think they're good. Their coach has never won a tournament game. I don't think this is the year he's going to do it without their best player. Give me the Dogs. Michigan State, North Dakota State, no doubt about it. Same with UConn. Now, UCLA and UCF is an interesting one. But I like UCLA. I think UCLA had a nice end of the season. We could check a couple of these games too. They beat Illinois. They beat Michigan State. They lost to Purdue, where Dent and Bill Doe weren't playing, but apparently they're going to be back, so I think they could do it against UCF. UCF is a decent team. They just don't have the firepower that UCLA does. I'm pretty confident about that one, so I'll probably be wrong, so pick UCF. So, now, in the West, Arizona, easy. LIU, sorry, Finns, you will not be going on in my bracket. Now, Utah State and Villanova. Utah State is actually favored in this one. It's pretty even for the public as well. Now, Utah State, very underrated team. Check a couple of their notable results. VCU tournament team, a lot of their own conference games as well. I believe they did lose to USF. Villanova, now, the Big East is a bit overrated. They didn't really beat anybody. When your second notable win is Butler, a team that got first rounded in the Big East tournament, yeah, that's not a good sign to me. Beating Wisconsin, impressive, but that is also 3 months previously before they play. Give me Utah State here. I think they're the better team. I think they're playing better right now. Villanova has had an impressive season. Willard's first year, but I just don't see them getting it done. Wisconsin is a pick here. I'm not picking High Point again. I picked High Point last year against Purdue, and I regretted it. Will not be doing again. Arkansas, Hawaii. Now, the big The Big West has had good success in the tournament as of late. This is an Arkansas team that just won the SEC tournament. This is an Arkansas team that obviously just beat Vanderbilt. They didn't really have great competition. They beat Ole Miss. They beat Oklahoma. They stopped Oklahoma from even making the tournament. At least one number 13 seed, like I read earlier, has beaten a number 4 seed 28-40. That's nearly 75%. But Big West, like I said, they've been doing better in the tournaments. 2-3 their last 5 times, and 3 losses were a combined 5 points. So look out for this one to be closer, but I'm not gonna pick Hawaii. I think they're meeting the wrong team for that to happen. BYU Texas. This is a BYU offense that is really, really good. Give me BYU here. They got the best player in the country at the end of the day. If Texas can slow them down somehow, that's their best chance, but I don't see it. Congrats to Texas for beating NC State, but no. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State, I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Purdue as well, pretty self-explanatory on those two. Miami, Missouri. Now, this game is in St. Louis, which is very interesting in all reality. This is a Miami team beat Louisville, they beat NC State, 2 tournament teams. Missouri does have wins against Florida, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. Number 7 seeds have won 61% of the meetings. Last year marked the first time multiple 10 seeds won in the first round, which is an interesting stat. Now, Missouri is just not a good team the last couple tournaments. Last year, I believe they were 5. They lost to Drake with Sturts and McCollum, who are now at Iowa. That is not a team I'm confident in taking at all. And I'm going to go with the hot hand. Miami is a very good offense. I think this is a team that could play Purdue close, but I don't know if they'll win that. But we'll get there later. But Miami moves on. Now, in the South, Florida, no doubt about it. Iowa, Clemson. Iowa, definitely for me. Clemson lost Welling to a ACL injury for the entire season, obviously. This is just not a good offense. I trust Iowa. I like their offense. I like Bennett Sturts. I like their coach. I think they just have a better team. I think this game they just win. This is not 2 teams that I'm like super impressed with, or like they could compete with Florida. But I think they can. I think they could beat Clemson. Vanderbilt, McNeese. I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt. Amir Khan's not winning in March this year, buddy. No, 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 no. This is a hard one because obviously I read that stat about the 13 seeds, right? And then you think about it. Who has never won a game in March Madness? Nebraska, a 4 seed, one of the biggest universities in the Midwest. This is a team that's never won a tournament game in their history. It's going to be hard for me to pick against them still. Because this is a team that won, I just showed it too. They won 26 games. They beat Michigan State, they beat Illinois, they beat Wisconsin. Indiana, they had a crazy comeback win too. They ended their season very poorly, but I'm not taking that away from them when Troy doesn't have, they played USC close, and they lost, or they beat San Diego State, another good win. But neither of those is a tournament team, and I think Nebraska is just going to be too much for them. Nebraska is a very good shooting team. Nebraska is just a very well-rounded team, and I don't think Troy has enough for it. Now, North Carolina and VCU at 6 and 11. VCU, I really like. Caleb Wilson right here, top player, top 5 pick in the draft, upcoming one. He's not going to be playing. He's out for the season. I think their season is over, unfortunately. I think this is where their season ends. Unfortunately, the injury to Caleb Wilson has really fucked their season. Now, Illinois, easy again, and Houston as well. Penn's a cool team. TJ Power is a cool story, but I don't see them advancing. St. Mary's, Texas A&M. Yeah, I'm not picking A&M. I don't rate A&M that highly. St. Mary's, I pick every year, and they usually fail me, but I'm going to go back to it. one more time to get failed again. A&M's under a new year of coaching, but they don't have Wade Taylor as they always do. I just don't think they have enough this year to get it done against the St. Mary's team, who's good offensively and pretty good defensively always. On the last region, the Midwest, I'm going to go with Virginia, Iowa State, two self-explanatory ones right there. Tennessee, SMU is an interesting one. I'm predicting, I mean, SMU is also favored by 7.5 points. I don't see Miami, Ohio competing with the likes of SMU, but it would be cool if they did. And if they did, Tennessee would definitely win. Tennessee SMU is interesting if SMU's best player is back. They were the last team in SMU because of the availability of this guy. Could it? It would be interesting if he actually didn't play after all that. It would be really funny. I still think Tennessee is a better team. I think they have just better defense. They have Gillespie, they have Ament, two of the best players in the SEC this season. In Kentucky and Santa Clara, this is where I'm going to pick the 10 seed. Santa Clara has made the tournament for the first time since Steve Nash. They've a very good team. Hammond, Mahi, Graves, the freshman. Number 7 is like that's the only time. This is the only one I'm going to pick a 10 seed in this tournament. I think this is just a Kentucky team that just stinks. I don't think Quintance is going to play. I don't think they just don't excite me too much, honestly. And now continuing, Michigan definitely going to beat Howard. Howard, congrats for winning your first ever tournament game, but story ends here. Georgia, St. Louis. I'm going to go with Georgia. St. Louis has fallen apart to end this season. If we take a look here, they lost to Dayton. I mean, they beat GW. They don't have a win. I mean, Santa Clara is a good win, but they don't have a win recently where I'm like, damn, that's a really good team. I mean, VCU, that's an impressive win, and since then they've lost 2 of 3. Not good. Not good. I think this is a team that really can dominate them in the post with Cyril against Avila. I mean, he's a fun player for college, but he's not a good defender at all, and he really limits them as a team. Give me Georgia. I really wanted to pick Texas Tech. I mean, even here you could look at the spread. Like, Georgia's favored now too, after it's stayed the same actually. But this is one where I really wanted to take Akron, but I'm gonna go with Texas Tech. I think this is the most picked upset that I could think of right now. Like popularity on social media and whatnot. This is a good Akron team. It is. But I think Tech has too much. I like Christian Anderson. Obviously, JT Toppin's out for the season. But I still think Texas Tech has just too much. At least one 12 seed has defeated a 5 seed in 34 or 40. Did I pick one? I did not. If it's going to be any of them, it's going to be Akron. But I'm going to go with Texas Tech still. I'm going to go against history. Probably not a good idea. But Alabama Hofstra, I don't think Mr. Holloway's going to be playing after he got caught with a lot of weed on his car. I'm going to go with Hofstra. This is where I like this upset. I think this changes a lot for them. This is a team that has actually decent wins, and they played UCF close. They beat Pitt. They beat Cuse. Now, these aren't good, Power 5 schools, but obviously UCF made the tournament. Pitt and Cuse, I mean, those are Q3, Q4 wins, I believe. And I think Hofstra has a chance against a Bama team that is weak. It is one of the weaker Bama teams. Besides Phylon, I don't think this team's very good. Now, moving on to the South, to the round of 32, I'm going to go with Florida. I'm going to go with Vanderbilt. I don't think Nebraska is going to move on that much. This is a team with little experience in March. I think Vanderbilt's a much better team. They're not big at all in Nebraska, and Vanderbilt, that kind of helps them. This is a Vanderbilt team that will out-chew you. Travis Tanner, one of the best players in... Not Travis Tanner, that's the Suits guy. Tyler Tanner, one of the best shooters and one of the best players in the SEC this season. And like I said, Florida, I just don't expect them to struggle with Iowa. Illinois, VCU, I just don't see it. I like VCU, but I don't like them that much. And Houston, that is an easy one for me. That's a team that's really deep, and it's a very good defensive team. VCU, I just don't think they have the depth to compete with Illinois. They have too much power. Stojakovic, Merkovich, Wagler. No. Over here in the Midwest, I'm going to be going with Iowa State. I'm going to go with Virginia. I just think these are two teams that are just better. Better just as a whole. Like I said, with the depth for Houston and Illinois, it comes up big for these two teams. I think they just outshoot and outplay these teams as well. Michigan's another one where it's easy. I just don't think Georgia has the quality to beat Michigan. Cyril is one of their best players, and he's just not going to have a lot of success against Yax, Mara, and Morez. And then I'm going to pick Texas Tech to move on as well. I think they have more over Hofstra for now. Hopefully, no more injuries. Christian Anderson is expected to play. So, yes, we will be picking Tech. Arizona, Utah State. I like Utah State, but I don't like them that much. I'm going to pick Arizona to advance. Wisconsin, Arkansas, two of the hottest teams out there. I just don't think Arkansas has the defense, and I think Wisconsin's just that little bit better. Wisconsin's a team that definitely could make a run. They have shooting. They have the quality with Blackwell and Boyd. I think they have it. Now, BYU, Gonzaga. This is a tough one for me. BYU is a very good offense team. I believe, Huff is not going to play. Not really sure yet. We don't really know on him. Maryland. Okay. Yeah, that's a notable win for a team that was like 16th in the Big Ten, but okay. BYU Gonzaga, like I said, I'm going with the offense. I'm going with the best player in the country. I think this is a team that wins. Robert Wright's going to be a big one in this game. Look out for him. Purdue, Miami. Purdue has too much for Miami in this. Now, into the East here, Duke has too much, but TCU definitely can compete with Duke because Duke doesn't have the size as much. Like, Boozer will give them hell because, Badunka, one of their recent matchups for TCU, did give TCU a ton of problems. That game was completely changed when he took over. St. John's, Kansas, though, I'm going to be going with St. John's. I think this is just a team playing better. I think they're just Kansas has the better player in the game, but I think St. John's is a better group overall. They have more depth, they just have more quality, and they don't have a question mark around their best guy. Now, USF, Michigan State. I like USF. I don't think this Michigan State team is very good overall. They just don't have it this year. They've had a lot of close games where they collapse late. And it just seems like they just can't get over that hump this year. And this is just I think USF has the scoring to maybe even beat them. And I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the chance. I think they might do it. Give me USF. Give me the upset. UConn, UCLA. This is a hell matchup for the refs. Prayers out there to them. UConn is definitely the better team here. UCLA is an underrated team, but I'm going to be picking UConn here. In this one, now into the Sweet 16. Can't speak English. Duke, St. John's. I'm going to be going Duke. I don't think St. John's is enough. And I'm going to be going UConn. Now, into the West, I'm going to be going with one of Arizona or Wisconsin. Most of the public, if we take a look here, 7.6 million. 711,000. Like I said, Blackwell, Boyd, Berries, and Pete, two of the best freshmen in the country. Number one seeds are 44-11 and won all three meetings the past 2 years by double figures. Pretty good history for that. And that supports what I was going to do anyway. Arizona wins that. I like Wisconsin a lot. They might make it close. I just don't think they have the quality. Arizona has 8 guys that can really do a lot. Jaden Bradley, Big 12 Player of the Year. Give me Arizona on this one. BYU, Purdue. I like BYU, but I don't think they have enough for Purdue. Purdue has the guys down low. They have TKR, they have Clough, and obviously they have one of the best players in the Big Ten, Braden Smith. Now into the Midwest, I'm going to be going with Michigan. I don't think Tech has enough without JT Toppin. If he's playing, maybe. But this would be they'd probably be a higher seed with him back. But unfortunately, he won't be back, and I'll be going Michigan. Michigan, I fucking hate them, but it's all good. Virginia, Iowa State, this is a tough one. Because I really do like both these teams. I do really like Virginia. Virginia had a really good year under Ryan Odom. Number 2 seeds are 38 and 24 since 2022. Number 2 seeds have won 4 of 6 meetings. But this time, I'm going to be going with Virginia. Every year, we all think Iowa State's going to do something really crazy, and they're going to be really, really good, and they don't do anything. I think it's another one of those years where they disappoint. They're a 2 seed. I just don't think they're better than Virginia right now. And I'm going to be taking Virginia to the Elite Eight. And now up top, I think Florida gets a revenge. I think this is just a better Florida team overall. I don't think they're going to beat Vandy. I don't think Vandy's going to beat them again in the tournament. This is a team that's really well coached by Alex Golden. They have Condon, they have Chinyalu, they have Hauk, Lee, Fland. I think this is just a deep team. I think this is a team that could probably go and make a run again. In Illinois, Houston, I think Houston's just a better coach team. They're just a better team in general. And we are into the Elite Eight. Duke and UConn here. Duke's an easy one for me. I think this is just a team that's just better. UConn could probably play close. I just don't think they have the quality this year to do it. Caravan struggled, Ball, just not it this year. Purdue, Arizona. I'm going to be going with Purdue. I think Purdue's just a better team. Arizona always chokes in March at the end of the day, and I think this is a Purdue team destined to make a run off that Big Ten tournament win. Michigan, Virginia. I would love for Michigan to lose. That's all I know. First thing first. Number 1 seeds have won 16 of 19. The last win by a 3 seed was Texas Tech over Gonzaga in 2019. History does not side with Virginia. That's for damn sure, man. Florida, Houston, though, as we skip over it for a little second here. 3.7 million are picking Houston, 4 million are picking Florida. Number 1 seeds have won 6 straight meetings against 2, 41-30. Last win by a 2 seed was Michigan State, 2019. That's 7 years ago, which is kind of crazy. Can Houston do it? Can Houston beat Florida? I think they can. I'm going to be taking Houston. I think this is a team that just has more defensively. I think this is a team that's deeper. Fleming, Sinak, Sharp, Uzan, list goes on. I don't have the same feeling about Florida. I was a person who literally took Florida last year. I was big on Florida all last year. I like Florida, but I don't think they could beat Houston right now after the SEC tournament. I think they can make the Elite Eight. I just don't think they can go further than that. Michigan, Virginia. I think Virginia's shooting can beat Michigan. I really do. I'm going to be taking Virginia here. I just don't. Michigan always chokes in March, bro. My entire life, they've really just choked consecutively. Losing your backup point guard, Kason, is so brutal for them. I just think that's a huge hit. You're going to have to trust in a lot of uncertainty. Whether, McKinney, Scheider, I don't know. It's not a great sign for me, and I'm going to pick against them there. Purdue, Virginia is a fun matchup. I think Purdue takes it. Number 2 seeds, 38 and 24. Number 2 seeds have won 4 6 meetings. I think this is where we go with Purdue and Virginia Falls. I like Virginia a lot, but I don't think they continue here. And I'm going to be going with Duke to the national championship. I just think they have more in that game. I think they're just going to be healthy. They're going to have their guys back. I don't think Houston has it this year. Last year, I thought maybe they could sneak it. They were my second favorite team. It's not saying much because they were obviously a 1 seed, but it was a very square March as well because it was 1 and 2 seeds all around. I think they could beat Duke. They just don't have the shooting this year. That's what they really lack. Cryer obviously is gone. Sheed's been gone. Fleming just cannot shoot the ball, bro. He cannot shoot from three at all. That is what it's going to take to beat Duke, beat Isaiah Evans, beat Boozer. This is going to be a really interesting game. I'm really looking forward to that idea of that game happening, or Duke, Florida, even too. And Duke, Purdue, and the national championship. My pick. I'm going to be boring, unfortunately. I'm going to be going with Duke. I think this is a year they get it done. I think this is a team that is very, very deep. I think this is just the best team in the country. They've been the best team in the country for a while this year. They have the players to do it, they have the stars to do it. They didn't do it last year, mainly because of injury, and they did choke in the semifinals. I believe it was to Houston. But this is where Purdue unfortunately loses again, and Duke Hoises lifts March Madness trophy. And that is all for me. Crucify me for the picks. I'm okay with it. I watched more college basketball than I have in a minute. I definitely watched a ton of the college tournaments in the last 2 weeks. I absolutely loved watching those tournaments. I always love watching those tournaments. Those are super interesting to watch. Watching Dominique Daniels hit 3 threes and breaking some guys' ankles and then hitting the game winner was absolutely awesome to watch. Hawaii, I mean, they just ran through their tournament. I mean, Long Island making it for, I believe, the first time. Hofstra, they hit a clutch three against Towson to make it and get in, too. Then you got, like, Santa Clara, who's never made it. They made it last with Steve Nash 1994. Pretty freaking cool. Howard won their first tournament game. They're playing, too. Yeah, Akron hit a clutch shot. They hit a clutch three to make it. Troy, I mean, they knocked off Georgia Southern. Everyone thought Georgia Southern was going to win that after they had won, 5 games in 5 days. Penn hit 2 clutch threes. TJ Power, I mean, the guy went for 40 and 14. It was fucking insane against Yale. But that is all for me. I will see y'all hopefully when I'm right. Peace.